Hey guys, Reza here from Budget Audio Reviews. Today I'm bringing you the BGVP DN2. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Oardio Singapore for allowing me to try out this review unit for 2 weeks, for me to give my thoughts and my ears to this particular IEM, and give an honest opinion, all right, about it. So far, I've been super impressed with the DN2. In fact, personally, when BGVP private messaged me, they asked me, is the DN2 better than the Zero? Between these two, which is better? So my personal opinion is, putting aside price, I personally would use the DN2 more often than the Zero, and I do personally like the DN2 more than the BGVP Zero. So the DN2 is an impressive piece of IEM for the price that it's put up now. I think in Singapore it's about I think around $82 or so, Singapore dollars. You convert that to US dollars, might be around $65 or so. I do think the DN2 offers a very unique kind of tonality. My first experience with the DN2 was quite astounding, but that was after I started swapping around the tips right here. So inside the box, you can see in the pictures I've put up earlier on, you can see a combination of like the previous Zero. So you will see tips for vocals and tips for bass and the regular black silicone tips. The unique thing about the DN2 right now, the colorful ones are the bass tips as compared to the Zero. The colorful ones are the vocal tips, okay? So this one's, it has the blue silicone, all right, and the inside has that purple color and a few other colorful stuff. So from looks wise, I do like the unique colors that it has, but man, this is really tough to put on because the inside is very stiff, you know, that what do you call that? I suddenly forgot the name. What's the channel on the inside here, the canal here? That thing is really hard to put in. It's so stiff. I broke out a sweat into putting this particular ear tips on. So you do have to be patient putting on the bass tips on, but once it's on, it's good to go. So for me, I much prefer maybe a slightly darker sound, a little bit, not too dark and colored, but I don't like it too sibilant. So comparing the vocal tips, the white tips, surprising enough, it gives very good clarity to the sound, which is very similar to my Hi-Fi HE 400i 2020. So it gives a lot of air to the vocal sounds. It is very close to, I'm quite surprised, it's very close to the sound of an open back headphones. So, you know, for such a budget price earphone IEM like this, it can give you a good varying amount of sound signature that you can try out. So if you like something a little bit more airy, vocals that is slightly sibilant, not in a bad way, but you know, you can hear the tss and st sounds at the ends, the trailing ends of the voice, then try on the vocal tips. What the blue tips does, it tightens up the bass. So between the blue bass tips and the regular black rubber tips, what happens is the black rubber tips, you have bass that bleeds over into the mids a little bit. So I think what BGVP has done is you know, ear tips that suits, you know, three ends of the spectrum. People who prefer slightly meatier mids, so they can use the regular black silicone tips. People who like the airy voice, the airy vocals, they can use the white tips for the DN2. Those are really good. It gives a very open and airy sound. You still get that feeling of bass underneath, the deep bass underneath, but less so as compared to the blue tips. So this blue tips right here, I think once the blue tips was on, my personal experience with the blue tips was this. It had that soulful feeling. I felt that it had a good tonal weight to it. So maybe let me read off my Instagram post where I put up my thoughts are usually on Instagram and NBBA group on Facebook. So the first one here was this. After using the L bass tips, and I tested it fully on Eva Cassidy's Live at Blues Alley album, what I did find that the album became meaty in a good way, with bass lines pulling the ensemble along. So the whole band was led by the underlying bass tones that's coming from the bass guitars, the kick drums and all that. It was really, really good. It's a visceral experience for me. And I was hooked to the sound, and my body naturally bobs to the music all the time, even until now. What you see here, this has been on the table for the past maybe hour and a half to almost 2 hours since I came back earlier in the day. Now it's about 7:15 p.m. in the evening. I was home by about 5 plus, and I was rooted to the table for about an hour plus, and I didn't want to move because it was so good. You know, I was testing out different genres, different sounds, and this thing really delivered. I was really thirsty. I wanted a drink, but I just stuck to the table and I just listened to this thing. So let's give a certain character to the DN2. So the DN2 has what I would call it's a soulful pair of performers for you. So it's got soul. It's not dry. It's not clinical. It's not thumpy. It's a soulful performer. So for someone who really enjoys vocals with good emotions, music that pulls you along from the undertones, these guys are really awesome. The overall presentation has that nice, good, what I call the tonal weight. So it's natural tonality with some good weight to it. So you really feel all the notes of the songs coming together, especially amazingly in the pianos. So the bass is tight, it doesn't bleed over to the mids. The vocals are nicely forward with real soul to the voice. I like to use the word soul for this particular IEM, for the DN2. The sibilants, you will only encounter the slight sibilants with the wide vocal tips, not with this one. This one is just nice. It rolls it off, it smooths out the top just nice, just before it gets really hot for your ears. So you really can enjoy vocals for a long period of time. I can stay on these earphones for 3 hours, no problem. I did that the other night, about a night plus ago. The trebles are clear and present again with excellent weight. What I did realize with the DN2 is my first time experiencing listening to earphones where when the drummer cracked that cymbal, the crash cymbal, you actually felt the weight of the cymbal when it cracks. So if you ever tried hitting the cymbals of a drum set before, you know that certain cymbals have a certain weight. So when you hit that, you really felt that weight passing through the body as well. So my job, I'm a personal trainer. I also love martial arts as well. So I'm very into feeling. My body tunes in very well to kinesthesia. So one of my natural talents is kinesthetic awareness. So I need to feel things a lot. The next thing we want to talk about is imaging. Yes, this thing has excellent imaging. You can really pick out the instrument locations in the space. It's able to place the instruments correctly. So in Eva Cassidy Live at Blues Alley, you're able to pick out exactly where the guitars are, where the drums are, where the bass guitar is. So it's pretty amazing. With tracks that are mastered even more accurately, it's brilliant. So you will not be losing any kind of imaging accuracy with the DN2, even though it has that tonal weight to it. So it's amazing, it's brilliant. Next will be the soundstage. Again, soundstage is not so wide, it's a little bit closer to you, alright, but that's for a good reason, because then imaging is precise. So you get about this kind of wide of a soundstage with a good height. So you do get some good height and air to certain instruments like cymbals, strings and violins. They're right about here, which is very, very good. I really do enjoy the soundstage for this guy. So it's not so separated. For example, the CCA CA16, due to the design of the shell or something, you felt everything is going out this way. Coming back to tonality, it is slightly warm. It has a woody nature. So in my house, the flooring is a wood laminate. I like things with a wood kind of texture, that kind of warmth, because generally I have cold hands and feet, so that sort of a warm feeling is very nice for me. I really enjoy warm feeling. Yeah, so thanks BGVP for making such a great pair of IEM. I truly enjoy this. So the total overall score on this impression is 9 out of 10. The reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because of this cables here. They have that sticky nature. Some people like it, I don't like it, because I tend to wear cables underneath my t-shirt when I walk around outside, so they kind of stick to my t-shirt and my body. So that's another thing, and just generally don't like sticky things. So it might work for you. So if it works for you, great. I think this might be a 9.5 to 10/10 kind of IEM if you enjoy the sort of natural tonality, natural timbre, good tonal weight to your music. Okay. Let's take a look at my latest thoughts today, just a few moments ago. Now, backing this thing up against my very modest collection of budget IEMs, which is the BGVP Zero, CCA CX16, TRN VX, which is no longer with me right now, the TRN BA5, Kinera SIF, Sanford DT6, even the super budget nice HCK Bro, and a very old Marshall mode. This guy comes out tops as the most capable in delivering accurate deep bass, lively and warm vocals, and with trebles that shine without being hot or harsh. I really like that. And coming back down to the word soul, this guy is a true soulful performer with that nice natural tonal weight, sonic weight for all instruments including vocals, so you can feel the weight of the vocals. Yeah, the cool thing about this is even the plink of the piano when you hear the musician or the pianist strike the piano keys, you feel the weight of the piano coming down on the strings. It's amazing to have that sort of sensation and feeling through a really tiny thing like this, like a tiny earphones like this. Kick drums as well, when it thumps, you hear the thump, you know. So you felt that thump and thump on the kick drums. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So the BGVP DN2 allows you to feel your music rather than just hear. So you are hearing and feeling at the same time. To me, this is a clear winner for myself because, like what I said, I really enjoy things that I can feel. So previously, when we had, typical of 5.1 theater system in a home, I really like to feel the bass flowing through the body, feel things moving around. So the DN2 allows me to feel my music a bit more and takes that listening experience to the next level. Next thing about genres. This guy is very versatile. You can have different kinds of genres playing on it, and it can excel from recently I picked up listening to some synthwave. The Midnight is one of them. The other one, something 1983. Let me take a look at that. I enjoyed those albums as well. So yeah, Time Cop 1983, The Midnight, the synthwave songs are really excellent. And then I went back to, yes, Metallica S&M 2, especially in Volume 2, All Within My Hands. Now that's an amazing performance that you can really truly enjoy with the DN2. It's a, again, very visceral experience listening to S&M 2 on the DN2. I went through my entire collection between the cello work by Yo-Yo Ma, the piano work by Hélène Grimaud, and what else? The soundtracks album from Thor Ragnarok, from the Bourne Identity series, from Black Panther, even Glass Animals, those pop EDM, dance, soundtracks, Jurassic Park theme. This guy is able to handle everything. So I'm very surprised that it can handle many genres of music and not be pigeonholed to one or the other. So I don't know what DN2 did with the drivers or the tuning, but good job, BGVP. Super excellent IEMs. I will for sure recommend this for someone who enjoys that sort of natural tonality, natural timbre, natural weight to sounds, music that you can feel. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this review of the DN2, do hit that like, subscribe and share the video if you like what you've seen. Alright guys, thanks so much for spending time in my humble home here in Singapore. We'll see you real soon.